This holiday weekend, it has been all A's against the Blue Jays at the O.co. The Athletics have gotten superb starting pitching. The defense has been spectacular. And once again, the green and gold have taken advantage of mistakes by the opposition. Bob Melvin and the boys have won 3 in a row, and they will go for the 4-game sweep behind their newest acquisition, Jeff Samardzija. The big right-hander is a huge key to the pennant chase as he will make his Athletics debut in front of the Coliseum faithful. A's go for the 4-game sweep as they take on the Blue Jays next. While the brooms are out, the A's are going for the 4-game sweep of the Toronto Blue Jays on a beautiful Sunday afternoon for baseball at the Coliseum. And a big day for the A's fans and for that man, Jeff Samardzija, making his first start as a member of the Oakland A's. So it's the 4th and final game of the series. It's the Toronto Blue Jays and the Oakland A's coming up on Comcast Sportsnet, California. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Oakland A's baseball. Along with Shooty Babbitt, I'm Glenn Kuiper. Lots of excitement around the ballpark today, of course, with Jeff Samardzija taking the hill. And Shooty, simple question: what are we going to see from Samardzija today?
6'5", 240, top physical specimen, great stuff and presence to match. It's no doubt that he is a man, but you know what, Glenn? He's playing a boy's game. And as boys, we just can't help but get excited and we can't wait to go. But with Jeff Samardzija, that is what's made him the pitcher that he is today. He was a thrower when he came in this league, but got him to be a top starter that he's learned how to pitch. He has to control his emotions. He can't let his heart beat out his chest and throw that moving fastball straight down the middle of the plate. If he does, it won't be a great introduction.
There's Shooty talking about controlling his emotions. That's a good one, Shooty. I like that. Now, one of the keys to the success for the A's in this series, they've shut down a good lineup for the Blue Jays. The top of the order has not done a whole lot for Toronto.
Well, we start number 1 with Jose Reyes. I mean, he is the engine that makes this automobile go for sure. But against left-handed pitching, he's hitting .220 this year, and that's not good enough in any league. Milky Cabrera, all-star caliber type year, just having a great year in the 2-hole. Well, guess what? He's hitting in the 3-hole today to pick up some slack. And Batista out on his front foot all series long. When you're mad, you seem to try to get faster. You try to be stronger. With a great left-handed pitching that the A's have ran out there has just taken a little more off and got him a little more matter. Well, guess what? It won't be softer today, big fella, because big Jeff Samardzija is bringing the express.
All right, so the Blue Jays with 2 runs on 19 hits in 30 innings in this series, and the A's will try to keep them quiet for 1 more game. So the A's going for the 4-game sweep against the Blue Jays. We'll have lineups and first pitch from the Coliseum when we come back.
is brought to you by Jack in the Box. Head to Jack in the Box for the new Jalapeno Ranch or Barbecue Ultimate Cheeseburgers at participating restaurants. And by Toyota, #1 in MPG, durability, and resale value. Toyota, let's go places.
Well, nice moment just moments ago. Jeff Samardzija finishing up his bullpen and then heading back. And, of course, the great A's fans gave him a very nice welcome. And he is ready to go, and so are the Athletics, all whites today. On a beautiful Sunday afternoon for baseball, A's going for the 4-game sweep of the Toronto Blue Jays. So, Samardzija's ready, so are we. Game time weather presented by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. Get to the beach. The admission-free boardwalk is now open daily. 71 degrees on a Sunday afternoon. And just a few puffy white clouds in the sky, but a nice day all around the Bay Area. Warm temperatures, and maybe even a little bit warmer tomorrow. Let's look at the lineup for the Blue Jays. Reyes, Kawasaki, Cabrera. So Melky Cabrera now in the third spot. Batista, Lynn, Rasmus, Francisco Gillespie just picked up Cole Gillespie and Josh Tolley. So Encarnacion out of the lineup. No surprise there.
Towing the bump for the Oakland A's today, the very new Jeff Samardzija. Big physical guy, has great plane and angle, throws up to 95 miles an hour, but what is critical for him today is to allow his moving fastball to move out of the zone and on the thin parts of the bat. See if he can control his emotions today, Glenn, and see if he can let that happen.
So Samardzija's ready. Jose Reyes steps in, so we are set for baseball. Samardzija, his 18th start on the season. With this one, a little different than the first 17, I would imagine. Big right-hander kicks, and his first pitch to Reyes is a fastball low at 94 miles an hour. Reyes, 257, 6 home runs, 23 RBIs. Reyes in this series, 2 for 14. And he hits that one hard, but right on the ground to Punto, and that's out number 1.
Whoa, that's got to be a sign of relief for Samardzija. Get that first one out of the way.
Let's look at the A's defense today. Cespedes is in left, Gentry in center, Vogt in right, Callaspo, Lowry, Punto, Fryman on the infield. Jaso does the catching. Josh Donaldson will be the designated hitter today. So here's Miranori Kawasaki. Kawasaki hitting 9th in this series the first 3 games, but today moving up to the 2nd spot with an Encarnacion out. Melky Cabrera hitting 3rd. And there's a line drive, and it's just over the head of Punto, and that's a base hit for Kawasaki. So Kawasaki gets his 3rd hit in the series.
It's been well documented about the struggles of Toronto's offense coming into this series. Kawasaki, a guy known mostly for his gold glove caliber defensive ability, has been moving the ball around the field very consistently for the Toronto Blue Jays lineup. As you can see here, he's a guy that stays on the ball, makes contact, and those guys normally hit at the top of the lineup. The 2-hole is a pretty good spot for him.
Exmo brought to you by Cache Creek Casino Resort, and here's Melky Cabrera. Cabrera is 3 for 12 in the series. So the Blue Jays, as the umpires, Gabe Morales is calling balls and strikes. Bill Miller is the crew chief. The Blue Jays come into today's game with the 3rd most runs scored in the American League, but they have been completely shut down. 2 runs on 19 hits in the first 3 games of this series, covering 30 innings, and they have not hit a home run. And they lead the American League in home runs hit with 113. So the A's pitching staff has shut down the Blue Jays in this series. And Kawasaki hesitated and then decided to stay at first.
Well, it's a new day for everybody, and Jaso hadn't caught Samardzija before.
So now he's getting an opportunity to see what his fastball does. And we talked about the life early on. That's a reflection of how well his ball really moves through the zone.
Samardzija's last start was last Saturday. Cubs had a couple days off, and he was scheduled for the Cubs to pitch yesterday. So he's had a pretty good break. His last start was at home against the Nationals. He gave up 5 runs in 5 innings. Runner goes, and the pitch is fouled straight back. So Samardzija with a couple extra days rest. So he was certainly ready to go today. Look at what he did in his first 10 starts. It was becoming a story. He was 0-4 with a 1.46 ERA and 6 no decisions. So pitching terrific, but the Cubs just could not score him any runs. 2-2 pitch, runner goes again, and this one's tapped up the first base line, but it'll trickle foul. Just making sure, huh, shooting?
Absolutely. You know, when you're back there, second baseman and shortstop, they establish it early on who's going to be taking the ball if it's hit back to the pitcher. And Samardzija's just making sure, because the one thing that you don't do in this game is think first. You react and you think late.
So Kawasaki probably will take off again. And Samardzija, a quick throw, and Kawasaki slipped going back to the bag, and that made it a very close play.
Well, I think that's going to be critical as we go on with Samardzija, because you can look at his delivery. One thing that he does to create some of his deception is his body turn. That only slows him down to the plate, and Kawasaki has picked that up early.
Cabrera, good swing there. Kawasaki not running. Pitcher catcher spending some quality time earlier today, just before Samardzija started warming up. So everybody trying to get on the same page with the new guy, Jeff Samardzija. Runner goes again, and this one's hit toward center field and into center field. Kawasaki, who was moving on the play, goes around to third. So Melky Cabrera with his 4th hit in the series, and the Blue Jays have first and third, 1 out. Pretty good at bat by Cabrera.
Well, when you have a fastball pitcher on the mound, it's a good time to put runners in motion, especially when you have contact hitters like Cabrera, who are capable of making consistent contact and basically guiding the ball where he needs it to go. Kawasaki got a great jump, was able to go into third base very easily.
So Batista steps in, hitting in the cleanup spot today. He's also playing first base. The first pitch is a strike. Batista 3 for 13 in the series, but we've seen some frustration from Batista. Leads the majors in walks, terrific on base percentage, and hitting right at 300. That one's bounced to short. Lowry has it. Flipped to second for 1. Back to first. And that's a double play. And the Blue Jays do not score. So the frustrations continue for Toronto. Samardzija gets a big double play. And the Jays don't score. So bottom of the first coming up. out in the bottom of the first. Jaso's going to lead things off, and then it's Callaspo, Cespedes, Donaldson, Vogt, Lowry, Fryman, Punto, and Gentry.
Well, we're looking at big Drew Hutchison. 2012 had Tommy John surgery, but has bounced back very effectively. Kid with a pretty live fastball, somewhat like Jeff Samardzija. Really depends on the movement of his fastball. The Oakland A's have to make sure that they don't chase up in the zone. He likes to try to get 2-strike chases. That's his go-to pitch, along with a pretty good slider at times.
So Hutchison facing the A's for the first time in his career. And he'll face Jaso, Callaspo, and Cespedes, bottom of the first. Well, Shooty, we saw Marcus Stroman a couple games ago. We were impressed with him, and the Blue Jays like Drew Hutchison very much. So they may have a couple of guys to build around. That one's belted to left field. Cabrera on the move, and he's not going to get it. He'll pick it up after it bounces off the wall, and Jason with a leadoff double.
You know, Glenn, this is the approach that I expect to see from the A's against Hutchison. I mean, he's a guy who throws a fastball that moves it out of the zone. Even though he has a changeup, he doesn't use it a lot. And when right-handers throw swing-back fastballs to left-hand hitters, they're scared to come inside with it because they don't want it to run over the middle of the plate. Jaso understands that and does a great job of staying on it and driving it to left field. It will be an extreme, difficult challenge for Hutchison because Oakland has a lot of good left-hand hitters in their lineup that are quite capable of hitting the ball the other way.
So here's Callaspo. Callaspo is 2 for 8 in the series. He's got a double, he's got an RBI, he's got a sacrifice fly. Francisco, the third baseman, in on the grass, and the ball is hit towards center field. Rasmus goes back. Jaso tags up. Rasmus has a pretty good arm. The throw to third is just a bit late. Jaso's in there safely.
There was a play yesterday's game where Coco Chris did such a tremendous job of getting back behind a fly ball, which didn't allow Lynn to tag up on a ball that wasn't hit that deeply. Because Jaso was so heads up and watched that the center fielder's feet are still moving backwards. He understands that if he gets a great jump, there's nobody in baseball basically that can throw you out when their momentum is going in the opposite direction and trying to make a throw of that distance.
So the infield comes in for Cespedes. Cespedes with 14 home runs, 55 RBIs, and a .262 average.
You know, Glenn, this time of the year, you look for growth in your ball club. In 2 days, I have seen leaps and bounds just for the simple fact that you've had runners at second base with less than 2 outs, and you've got that runner to third base.
Cespedes, high pop-up, and it'll be in the seats behind the Blue Jays dugout. Cespedes struggling some. He's 0 for his last 14, so see if he can start turning that around. He's 10th in the league in RBIs with his 55. That one's hit hard, and it's fair. Nice play by Francisco. And Francisco is not going to make a throw on Cespedes. He saved a run for the time being. So a nice play by Juan Francisco. Could not get a throw off. Here's the defense for the Blue Jays. Cabrera, Rasmus, and Cole Gillespie in the outfield. Francisco, Reyes, Kawasaki, Bautista in the infield. Josh Tolley is the catcher.
It's twice in this series that we've watched Francisco that make pretty good defensive plays, but not completed as far as the throw is concerned. I don't know if it's a matter of him not trusting his arm strength and his accuracy or just erring on the cautious side, but we do know that, in assessment, his speed had a lot to do with it.
So RBI chance for Donaldson. First pitch strike. Donaldson 2 for 9 with a double and a home run in the series. Third in the league in runs scored, tied for 6th in home runs, tied for 6th in RBIs. Swing and a miss.
When we saw Donaldson leave the yard last night, you saw evidence that he was staying on the baseball. And it's so key when you have that high leg kick that you continue to stay on the baseball to allow the leverage in your swing to happen. Looked like Hutchinson took note of that, and he's trying to keep the ball away from Donaldson early on.
0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, struck him out. Fastball outside, and Donaldson missed it.
Well, Glenn, as I talked about that chase fastball, Hutchinson has that late life, if you will, on his fastball. With the easy arm action that he has and the way that the ball explodes out his hand, it appears to become just a tick slower to a hitter than what it really is. And by the time that you pull the trigger, that ball has gotten through the zone. And Josh Donaldson, he will take note of that and probably get that foot down a little sooner in his next at bat.
Fair amount of sliders from Drew Hutchinson. Youngster, just 23 years old. Grounded toward Kawasaki. Slides to his right, quickly to first side, retired. So an opportunity for the A's slips past as they strand a pair. No score after one.
The A's don't let Reyes be disruptive. This guy is 2 for Joe in this series. He's been hitting .313 against American League West. Just keep him contained till he leaves here. Strike early. Help to soothe Samardzij's heart rate. Let him calm his nerves down a little bit. Give him a little room, score him a couple of runs, and let him be the pitcher that he's been instead of the one that the A's acquired him to be.
I'm going to be really honest with you, shooting. I'm a little more worried about your heartbeat than his.
Clint, how can you be so cool and calm sitting in 2 of the best seats in the world? Are you kidding me?
We did our open today, and Shooty was so excited to see Jeff Samardzij pitch. The bench was shaking up and down.
Look here, man. I had a Julia Roberts moment.
Back.
I thought I might pee my pants.
Oh, that's a situation you're going to have to deal with on your own. I cannot help you there. Flipped into center field. Gentry has it. So Adam Lind is retired. A little bit more on Jeff Samardzija. He's 29 years old, 5th round pick of the Cubs in 2006. He started his career as a reliever, and he was a pretty good reliever out of the Cubs bullpen. But in 2012, the bullpen was no longer. The Cubs said, you know what, I think we need to make this guy a starter. And so this is his 3rd year as a full-time starter in the big leagues. In 2012, he was 9-13. Last year, he was 8-13. A terrific football player at Notre Dame. And he's a strikeout guy from Indiana. That one's hit high in the air to right field. Vogt can't find it, and now he does find it, and he's got to hustle back, and he makes the catch. So that is out number 2. So the 3 seasons as a full-time starter, and there they are. See, last year, 213 innings pitched, 214 strikeouts. So that's a lot of strikeouts. So you see, last year, the ERA at 4.34. But this year, the ERA at 2.83. The numbers are there, but there's no question that it's a Cubs team that just did not score a lot of runs for him.
Well, Glenn, most relievers are down there because they cannot start. Jeff Samardzija being the specimen and the tremendous athlete that he is, and when I put emphasis on athlete, it's because his ability to adjust, his ability to show great aptitude, his ability to slow the game down, and trust his stuff. I talked about trust and obey. I have to be able to trust my fastball that has 5 or 6 inches of movement on it, to throw it inside and let it run back over the middle part or the inner part of the plate. And all that comes with maturation. And this young man has grown up quickly.
Well, breaking ball 1-2 to Juan Francisco.
When you have that fastball moving both ways, all it does when we talk about setting up secondary stuff.
Swing and a miss. He struck him out. So Samardzija gets his first strikeout as an Oakland A, and it's Juan Francisco. Bottom of the 2nd coming up. It'll be Lowry, Fryman, and Punto. No score.
The 15th annual A's Root Beer Float Day is set for Wednesday, July 23rd. A's players, coaches, local celebrities, and more will serve fans root beer floats for $2 each. 32-ounce mugs signed by Bob Melvin. He will be there. He'll be available for $25, and non-autographed mugs with unlimited refills are also available. proceeds benefit the Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation, adding to more than $350,000 the event has already raised throughout the years. As always, admission is free with a game ticket.
Lowry to lead it off, followed by Fryman and Punto against Drew Hutchinson. A's at first and third, one out in the first, could not get a run home. Donaldson struck out, Vogt grounded out. And both teams with scoring opportunities early. It's a shot right field, base hit, headed for the corner. Gillespie cuts it off before it gets to the wall. Lowry's going to have a double. Second straight inning, the A's have had a leadoff double.
Well, in order for the A's to have the level of success that they had last year, they need to have some of the things that happened. And one thing that happened on a consistent basis was this young man going foul pole to foul pole. Jed Lowry, one of the top switch hitters in the game, showing quickness down on an inner fastball that's down by the ankles. And left-handed hitters, they love him down there.
So here's Fryman. Fryman, 267 with a homer and 4 RBIs, 4 hits and 15 at bats for Nate. He takes inside. Three hits in the series for Fryman, 2 of them doubles. Missed again, 2-0.
Glenn, as I watch Hutchinson and live in his great presence that he had in the package as a pitcher, I don't think you're going to see the pitcher that Hutchinson is going to be later on in his career. Simply for the simple fact the sharpness of your breaking ball is one of the last things that come when you come back from a Tommy John surgery. His fastball and his slider appear to be on the same plane, and I think the A's hitters have noticed that right away.
Well, you mentioned Tommy John surgery. In 2012, Hutchinson made 11 starts in the big leagues. But in June, well, the elbow started barking a little bit, and then in August of 2012, he went and had Tommy John surgery. Up the middle, Kawasaki on the backhand, quick throw to first, and they get Fryman. But a productive out again, so the A's have had a productive out in each of the first 2 innings, moving up a runner.
Watching Big Nate do the job of getting the runner over, and I think that's one of the more impressive things about his presence last year. A big guy who came here with a track record for hitting for a lot of power, sacrificed a lot of that just to become a better hitter. Cutting down his swing right there when it's been well noted that he's created a little more length to create a little more power, shows you he can shorten up and get the job done playing the small game.
So here's Punto trying to get him in. So Punto, 222 with a homer and 10 RBIs, won the game for the A's on the 4th of July. Infield in. So to finish on Hutchinson shooting, has the surgery and then pitches in a handful of minor league games last year, but goes to the Arizona Fall League just to make sure he's fully healthy. Pitched fairly well down there and back in the rotation here in 2014. So he has made it through Tommy John surgery. That one bounced to Kawasaki, who grabs it, and Lowry has to hold, so that's out number 2. Kawasaki, a busy guy, but he's been kind of a vacuum cleaner at second base in this series.
Batting in the 9th position, center fielder, number 3, Craig.
So here's Gentry to try to somehow get Lowry home from third with 2 outs. Gentry 278 with 5 RBIs. And 3 hits in the series, 3 for 9. Up the middle, Reyes ranging far to his left, throws wide, run scores. Gentry's going to try for second, and he's going to make it. So the A's take a 1-0 lead. There was a little double clutch by Reyes on his throw, and I think that may have been the difference in the play.
Well, I have watched Reyes for a significant amount of time. I've got a chance to watch him play when he was with my New York Mets. Now I saw him in a game against Washington, and one play that I saw that Reyes is having trouble with is the ball to his left a little bit, because he has this great arm and this tremendous amount of strength in his wrist. He likes to flip the ball a lot. This time when you've got a runner like Gentry running down the line, you don't have a lot of time to be messing around. You got to get it and get rid of it. Speeded up Reyes' actions a little bit, made him rush his throw. He threw it in the ground, and you know Gentry is one of the fastest guys in the league.
Jaso hits one in the air, shallow right field. Gillespie under it. He's got it side retired. So for Gentry, it goes as a hit, an RBI, and an E6. So Jeff Samardzija now has a 1-0 lead after 2. Last night, Jeff Samardzija got to the Coliseum right around first pitch, a little after 7, and greeted by Mickey Morabito and headed into the A's clubhouse, got in his uniform. Quick handshakes, a little pine tar from Stephen Vogt. Sorry about that, buddy. Chats with the starting pitcher, Scott Kazmir, and today on the Hill. Playing like a champion. Sounds like a Fighting Irish thing.
You know that, Glenn.
So the Domers out there are watching today. Shutdown inning for Jeff Samardzija. Right around the league average. Facing Cole Gillespie and then Josh Tolley and Jose Reyes. Could be a play for Jaso fighting that sun, and he cannot quite come up with it. It gets a little treacherous down there. As I look down, I see a bat. I see a couple pine tar rags. And got a bat donut, a little bit of everything.
Yeah, it's already tough enough here in Oakland when you don't have any surroundings trying to catch a pop fly here at day games. But when you've got things you got to worry about around your feet, and you know you're getting close to that fence back there, that could be a scary feat.
Cole Gillespie was just claimed off waivers from the Seattle Mariners. So he is a brand new Blue Jay. Also today saw where the Blue Jays claimed Nolan Reimold off waivers from the Baltimore Orioles. There was a time not that long ago that Reimold was a pretty highly thought of player for the Orioles, but it's not the case anymore.
Well, I think it's because they lost an outfielder that was so good yesterday. They felt they had to go and get two to try to make up for the one that they lost.
So 2-2 the count to Cole Gillespie. Fastball right in on the hands at 93 miles an hour. Hit hard, but right to Lowry, who scoops it up. Well, here's Jeff Samardzija, and he's a football player, and he was a good one. That's him right there, number 83. You see the long locks over the back of the helmet. And that was against Stanford in Palo Alto, and he was a terrific receiver for Notre Dame.
Why does he remind me of this guy that wore a uniform that looks like Dwight Clark?
Yeah.
Striking down with such grace.
So there's a little football player mentality in Jeff Samardzija, I'm sure. You know, how that translates to the baseball field. Well, he could a little bit.
You know, Glenn, you're so humble. That's the thing that impresses me so much about you. A lot of people don't know that you were an All-American high school quarterback. And they wonder how you have so much interest in football. I've done some background research on you. You were pretty good. They say you could throw the pigskin a little bit.
You're funny, Shooty. How about this ball game here, buddy?
Okay.
Shooty.
You know, one thing that's so impressive about Jeff Samardzija for me early on is just the calmness in which he's able to go about his business. I mean, how can you not be so excited being in a situation that you've dreamed of being in, just having a chance to be on a championship quality team, and for him to channel his emotions like he's done early on has been spectacular.
Well, he said in his press conference, he said, you know, I've been looking forward to this for a while, and he didn't mean disrespect to the Cubs. He meant he was looking forward to being in this kind of situation where he gets to the ballpark every day with a pretty good feeling that his team's going to win. 2-2 pitch is sliced foul down the left field line. You can see where he's coming from. Cubs have just been in a down spiral, and I'm sure it gets a little frustrating. I mean, that right there will really heighten your frustration a little bit. Fourth lowest run support in the major leagues. Backhanded by Punto, throws on the run, 2 outs.
Well, he definitely understands how Felix Hernandez has felt for years up in Seattle to be a great pitcher, a #1 type starter, leading a staff that really doesn't support you that often. But to their credit, all they've done is gone out there and handled the things that they were able to control. And I think that's why the A's are so fortunate to get a pitcher of this type of makeup as well as stuff to go along with it.
A's will have Samardzija next year as well. He'll be a free agent after the 2015 season. Jose Reyes grounded out to the second baseman, open up the ball game. When the A's played in Toronto and the Blue Jays swept the A's, Jose Reyes was extremely disruptive. He was all over the bases. This series, he's been quiet. And that makes the Blue Jays a completely different offensive team.
Well, Jose Reyes, one of the more prototypical type leadoff hitters that you would like to see at the top of your lineup. Can swing it from both sides of the plate, has power, can hit the ball out of the ballpark, but when he gets on base, all it does, somewhat like Coco Chris, it only makes the guys behind him's job that much easier.
Good pitch right on the outside corner. Reyes coming into today with a .257 average. His on-base percentage, and this is a little bit of a problem this year, is only .311. And generally he's better than that. Fastball outside, 95 miles an hour, so a little extra from Samardzija. Full count.
Yeah, that definitely has to be disappointing, Glenn, because the league average is .320.
There you go.
And Jose Reyes is far from being just an average player.
Three-two pitch, close but a ball, and a two-out base runner for the Blue Jays. So first walk for Samardzija. He's got a walk and a strikeout.
Well, you're talking about some of that football mentality. How does it translate out on the field? Well, when you throw something like this and you don't get the pitch called, just read Jeff Samardzija's lips, and that's something that probably will come out of a football player's mouth.
That's a pretty good pitch. So here's Kawasaki. Reyes 17 steals on the year. He's only been thrown out one time, so seems like a fairly decent opportunity to try to steal. Not going. Pitch is high.
As you watch DeMarja deliver the ball here, one thing that's noticed very obvious is that now he's changing his speeds to the plate. A little quicker that time, holding on to it a little longer the previous pitch, knowing that he's not very quick to the plate. The way that you freeze a runner is that you have to disrupt his rhythm, and that's what he's been able to do so far.
Swing and a miss.
Kawasaki normally stays on that pitch away and drives to left field. Not used to seeing something that moves as much as Samardzija. And one thing that he has is an advantage. At 6'5", you're throwing downhill. Not only is that ball moving side to side, it's coming downhill and makes it very difficult to pick up.
Pop up. And it's Callaspo fighting that sun. You can see he's got the shades on, and he makes the catch. So a two-out walk to Reyes does no damage. Bottom of the third coming up. 1-0 A's lead. Fan photo of the game. Tweet your photo to CSNCA Fan Photo. Put your name down in your hometown down for a chance to be shown in an upcoming game broadcast. Today's fan photo comes from Donnie Navarez from Santa Rosa. Good-looking group. And we appreciate Donnie sending in the photo. It's our AT&T fan photo brought to you by AT&T. A's with a 1-0 lead, bottom of the third inning. Callaspo, Cespedes, and Donaldson against Drew Hutchison. Rasmus was shaded over toward left center field. He grabs it. 1 out, and here's our forward right choice. Scott Kazmir yesterday. 7 innings, 3 hits, couple of walks, 8 strikeouts, and he got the win. And Scott Kazmir is now 10-3. He's got a 2.53 ERA in 18 starts. And Scott Kazmir in just about 2 hours and 10 minutes is going to find out if he's an American League All-Star this year. 4 o'clock Pacific time, the All-Star rosters will be announced. So we'll look forward to that. We think it's going to be a productive day for the Athletics. Donaldson's going to get voted in at third base. Maybe Cespedes. He was leading Melky Cabrera the last time votes were tabulated, so he's got a very good chance. Doolittle, I got to believe he's there. Kazmir, Sonny Gray, lots of options. Derek Norris has a shot. So it's all good this year for the A's. You got to figure they're going to get 3, maybe 4. Keep our fingers crossed. Again, 4 o'clock. All-Stars are announced. Cespedes, fastball up and in. He chased it. Second strikeout for Hutchison.
Once again, don't mean to beat on it, but when Drew Hutchison is having success, it's up in the strike zone, getting that chase. Hitters just salivate on that fastball up in the zone, and they just have a tough time laying off of it, especially when it's one that they can't handle, but it looks so appetizing.
And then to the outside corner to Donaldson for a strike.
And then you end up with a stomach ache because you just feel so badly that you couldn't lay off of it. You know, like a bad meal.
Yeah.
You know, Glenn, when you talk about all-stars, we're talking about team play, and you hear that so much about this Oakland A's ball club. When you win, everybody gets known. Everybody gets recognized for their achievements.
The A's have that combination this year of very much a team effort, but they also have big statistical numbers. And when you get that combination, that's about as good as you can get.
Well, it's a solid contribution throughout the lineup. There are going to be some all-stars that are going to be lonely guys with one uniform representing their club for the simple fact that they were the only ones that have been putting up good numbers. These guys here, they just, I'm surprised that I don't see a T-shirt around here that says, just keep the train moving, because they really believe in that. They know that it's another car behind the next one that's moving the same speed that it is and capable of doing the same type of transportation.
Pop up could be in our booth. Not quite. Just below us. Gentleman right below us in the blue shirt made the play. So full count to Donaldson. And fastball right on the outside corner.
Talking about all-stars, how about that play that Josh Donaldson made last night?
Awesome. So another 3-2 pitch. Here it is, and it's foul back again. One close to us as well.
Josh Donaldson, a duplicate of a great play that he made early on in the year, but just once again, just showing his willingness to leave it all on the field. No bars held there. Just, he'll do anything, sacrifice his body. I talked about how Josh takes that catcher's mentality to the field. There is no play that he runs from. He will meet every challenge that's presented to him.
And he chased a high fastball. So Drew Hutchison with a couple of strikeouts in a 3-up, 3-down inning, and we're to the fourth. 1-0 A's lead. True story brought to you by McDonald's. It has to do with Josh Donaldson and the tarp. Well, that was one play with the tarp. This was the tarp catch, and this is what he did last night, and we're going to go with maybe tarp catch 2. So he's got a little relationship with that tarp over there.
Very good one.
Melky Cabrera to lead things off. Cabrera, Batista, and Lynn. So the middle of the order for the Blue Jays. Cabrera singled up the middle in the first inning. Blue Jays had first and third, one out in the first, but Samardzija got Batista hit into a 6-4-3 double play. Fastball is outside. The Angels lead the Astros 3-0 in the fourth inning down in Anaheim. Pujols with a couple of RBIs in the early going. Line drive, center field. Gentry on the move, still on the move, and in front of the wall. He's got it. So Cabrera hit it well. Gentry with the speed gets back in plenty of time.
Glenn, to basically highlight how good Samardzija has been thus far, here's a guy who has a plus slider and a plus split. Fastball command is talked about so much and how important it is for a pitcher to be able to expand his repertoire. Samardzija has been able to dominate thus far by using only his fastball. Now as he goes through the lineup for the second and third time, hitters are starting to make adjustments, trying to figure a way how they're going to go about attacking that fastball. Sooner or later, Samardzija is going to break out some of that plus secondary stuff on him.
Good pitch there, but call the ball. 1-1 the count.
It's the game within the game. Pop up foul just to our right and almost into the
visiting radio booth. Not quite.
Mature fella has a lot of energy.
Two and two now to Batista with Lynn to follow. That game in Anaheim, it's McHugh for the Astros and Garrett Richards for the Angels. And the Angels are going for the sweep. They're going for the sweep just like the A's are going for the sweep here. Shot foul.
Well, as my partner told me yesterday, as of July 4th, I can start scoreboard watching.
That's right. That's exactly right.
Ah, there's a real ball player.
Nice job.
Yeah, lefty. That's Dwayne Kuiper to Glenn Kuiper.
Yeah, that's probably true. Batista's retired, so frustrations continue for Jose Batista. And with 2 outs, Adam Lynn steps up.
Number 26, Adam Lynn.
Well, since that Cabrera single that put runners on first and third, Samardzija has retired 9 out of 10. So Lind steps in, hit a fly ball to center field in the second inning. Swing and a miss. So we're starting to see all of Samardzija's pitches. You see the good fastball with movement, 93, 94 miles an hour. And you see that first pitch to Lynn, kick a pretty good changeup.
You see Lynn guessing right away.
There's your fastball velocity. Pretty close to last year. And an 0-2 pitch in the dirt, and Lynn swings and misses, and that's the second strikeout for Samardzija. So he's rolling along, and so are the A's, leading 1-0.
I can't help but make sure that it's only appropriate that I recognize and send condolences out to the family of Earl Robinson, one of the great human beings that we lost yesterday. Earl was a member of this family, this organization. He was a shortstop at Cal. He was a point guard. He played 8 years in the major leagues. He was a tremendous human being that I had opportunity to meet and grow under here with the Oakland A's organization. And one of his biggest attributes that I'm even more proud of is the maestro that he was in orchestrating the commencement speech for Ricky Henderson, who eloquently presented it at the Hall of Fame ceremony. And Earl was a teacher down at Laney, and he always told us to come down there. Let me help you. Let me give you a chance to have an opportunity to continue your careers in this game. And Earl succumbed to death yesterday at 77, and we'd just like to pass along our condolences to his family.
All right. Well, sorry to hear that. Three and one to Vogt, who's leading things off here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Lowry to follow, and then Fryman. He's got a run in the second. An infield hit by Gentry with 2 outs scored Lowry. Vogt rips it to right. Stay hot, Stephen Vogt. So Vogt now with a 7-game hitting streak. He's got 10 hits in his last 22 at-bats.
As a hitter, when you're down in the cage and you're just trying to simplify your swing, you just want to keep it short. You want to keep it compact and keep it consistent through the zone. Stephen Vogt has some of the shorter arms for a hitter, and that's using it as his advantage right there. Twisting on a fastball that's, plus average in the big leagues is not easy to do. He makes it very easy right there.
So hit number 5 for the A's, and here is Lowry. Also the 3rd inning out of 4 where the A's have had their leadoff man on. Lowry doubled and scored in the 2nd inning.
Vogt may not be considered an all-star around the league, but he's definitely turning into one on this team. That's for sure.
Man, ain't that the truth? The White Sox beat the Mariners 1-0 in Chicago. So good pitching yesterday in the game the Mariners won in extra innings, and good pitching today as well. Hector Noesi, who has really had a tough year, had a tough couple years, but he pitched well today and he got the win. Juan Walker, the youngster for the Seattle Mariners, took the loss, and the only run in the game was a wild pitch in the very first inning. White Sox had 2 hits, that's all they needed, and they beat the Mariners 1-0.
Well, Glenn, just like we watch Rajai Davis come here and just create havoc on the Oakland A's.
There's a shot to right, and that's a base hit. Vogt digging around second. He's going to go to third, and he'll make it as the ball goes all the way through to Francisco. First and third, nobody out.
One thing that I thought early on that it would be a challenge for Hutchinson against these A's hitters, especially the left-handed hitters, because they do such a great job of grinding out at bats and getting in good hitters counts. Lowry's a guy that loves to extend his arms, especially from the left side, because he has such tremendous plate coverage and he feels that he can handle anything. A lot of times pitchers will make a mistake on the inner half and he will make them pay.
Good speed, huh? Stephen Vogt?
All-star caliber Stephen Vogt. When I talked about Noesi, Seattle Mariners is the last team he spent spring training with, and he has a chip on his shoulder as well. You can see that he took it out on the Mariners today.
He gave up a walk-off to the Athletics. Coco Crisp with a home run off Noesi. That was early in the year. Here's Fryman. First pitch, strike to Big Dan.
Good matchup here. Fryman in a situation where he needs a fastball up in the zone so he can hit a sac fly. Hutchinson has been getting away with this fastball up in the zone, but we're later in the game with fastballs not playing up as much. See if Big Nate can get on top of something here.
Takes inside. I think teams generally try to pound Nate Fryman inside. Would you agree with that, Shooty?
This is true because he's a long guy, but he has short arms. So a lot of times you pay the price because Nate can get to an inside fastball. You know, Cliff Johnson, who I played with, with in 1981 here, probably had some of the shortest arms I had seen prior to Wally Gator. I mean, he could get to anything.
He could hit, huh, Cliff Johnson?
Oh, he could rake.
Wally Gator, not so much?
No, Wally Gator's arms were just a little too short. Boy, you're talking about some of the personalities in the game. Cliff Johnson, my goodness. I can recall some of the matchups between him and Al Holland. Al Holland, you hit this, you big old ugly. You throw it back at me, you little fat. Oh, my gosh. I mean, you're talking about enjoying the game.
Hit hard, base hit right field. Vogt trots in to score. Fryman with a big hit, and the A's lead 2-0.
Well, it's quite obvious when your big guys are struggling like Toronto's are, they're having a very difficult time scoring runs. When you look at this Oakland A's ball club, every day, every night, there is a different hero. This guy just got off a Highway 80 just a couple of days ago, flying in from Sacramento, picking up his belongings, and he gets right into the box, and he's hot, and he's on fire. Big Fryman says Stephen Vogt got sent to AAA and been back. I don't look forward to going back either.
So 3 consecutive hits off Hutchison, and now 7 hits in the game for the A's, and they lead 2-0. Punto steps in. Corner infielders think Punto could be bunting. He's not. He's swinging away, and the first pitch is high.
Very important here that Glenn, that the A's add on here. I mean, you get in a situation where now you have a chance to perhaps make things a lot tougher for Hutchison, get into Toronto's bullpen, and see if you can take advantage of those guys down there. But put up a crooked number, makes Jeff's job a lot easier.
Inside, 2-0. Punto, long look down. Corner infielder still in. Francisco at third, Batista at first. Batista has played very little first base in his career. So 3-0 with Gentry in the on-deck circle. Is to throw a strike. He does right down the middle with Punto taking. Punto grounded out to Kawasaki in the second inning.
Glenn, even though Hutchison has just 56 pitches here in the fourth inning, they've all been stressful pitches. You know, not a lot of takes, not a lot of steal pitches. The A's have made him earn every one of the balls that he's thrown in 4 strikes.
So now a full count to Punto with Lowry at second and Fryman at first. Outfield shifted well toward left center and shallow. Pitch, here it is, and it's a swing and a miss on a foul tip. Punto was ahead in the count 3-0. He ends up striking out, and that's the 4th strikeout for Hutchison.
Well, you don't see anybody down there in that bullpen. That's just showing you how much confidence that the manager has in this young man, because he understands that his stuff is still good enough. A little late jump through the zone there for Punto. I mean, when you're a one-pitch pony right now, even though he's shown a slider, basically he's been living with the fastball. Command and location is key.
First pitch to Gentry. Swing and a miss. Good slider from Hutchison. With a runner at third and 2 outs in the second inning, Gentry hit a ground ball to Reyes' left, and he made the play, but could not get off a clean throw. Like he just juggled it a little bit, and when he did make the throw, it pulled Batista, the first baseman, off the bag, and the run scored. He ended up getting a hit and an RBI, and then went to second on the air. So 1-1 to Gentry with Jaso waiting in the on-deck circle. Missed again, 2-1. So 61 pitches now for Hutchison. Very close, and it's 3-1.
Glenn, so much has been noted about the depth of the Oakland A's ball club. You look at Toronto, when you have a major injury like Encarnacion yesterday, you look at the trickle-down effect that it has. Now you have Francisco over at third base. You have Bautista playing first base. Athleticism on the corner kind of took a spin downward a little bit for Toronto right here. Just goes to show you how valuable those other members of the roster truly are when you need.
Laurie out on the disabled list, and Encarnacion is not playing. That's two pretty good players. When the Blue Jays are healthy and they run everybody out there, it's a very good lineup, but the team goes through injuries. Bunted in the air right to the pitcher. Hutchison grabs it for the second out.
Well, you look at a play like that and you kind of probably in a little amazement why Gentry would bunt with him runners at first and second and 1 out. He probably has a better feel than anyone for the defense abilities for the third baseman here, and he feels that if he can get the ball down, there's no way that he could throw him out. But when the play doesn't work, the impact of the backfire is a little louder.
So 2 outs now for Jaso. Quick meeting at the mound between pitcher and catcher. Jaso hitting in the leadoff spot. Angels still leading the Astros 3-0. That game now in the 5th inning.
One thing you don't want to do, Glenn, when you've got a pitcher on the ropes and pitch count is getting up there a little bit, is give away outs. Kind of let him off the hook.
Well, he's scuffling around this inning. There's your ratio. Ball strikes and the total of 64. And a broken bat flare. It's going to drop. That's going to get Lowry home. Fryman to third, and it's 3-0. Hutchison can't believe it.
Yeah, you call it a flare, but Jaso calls it a line drive and a ribeye steak in the book. Already hard enough to hit, but boy, when it's 2 out and something on the line, the better guys just find a way to get it done. Jaso shortens up here. He uses the thin part of the bat because he's such a strong guy. If you look at those Popeye arms on this guy, you can understand how he's able to fight a ball off and muscle it to right field. I mean, I can clearly remember the day that he got drilled in the forearm a couple of weeks ago, and the ball and the knot swelled up as big as a baseball, and that guy remained in the ball game. Right there, I had a man crush on him right away. You're talking about strong.
I'm talking about 4 hits in the inning and 2 runs for the A's, and that's going to get Pete Walker out. That's also going to get action in the bullpen. Chad Jenkins starts to throw. So Hutchison was rolling along.
Number 7,
But the fourth inning here, 4 hits, and not over yet. Fryman at third, Jaso at first, Callaspo the hitter. First pitch is fouled back to our left.
There's that crooked number up on the board, Glenn.
Yep. We haven't seen a lot of crooked numbers in this series. The A's have scored 13 runs now in the series. The Blue Jays, 2. Pitch is high in the count, 1-1. Callaspo has hit a pair of fly balls to center field. Nice block, and the runner takes off. That's Jaso, and he'll make it to second.
You know, I'm willing to bet. Now, I'm not a historian. I don't recall too many rosters having 3 catchers, but I guarantee you, you will not come up with a collection of 3 catchers who are as instinctively gifted on the bases as the 3 are here in Oakland. Norris, Volt, and Jaso are all capable of going from first to third and scoring on a base hit from second.
And that was a stolen base, kind of a delayed steal by Jaso. And the ball was in the dirt, which certainly helps.
Derek Norris, we've watched him swipe bases many times. Doesn't look like your typical base stealer. Stephen Volt has excited the fans so many times going to first to third. And let's not discount Big Nate Fryman's ability to show a little athleticism. I'm going to score too if that ball's a little too far away.
Two and two. Here's the pitch to Callaspo, and he gets jammed but stays alive.
One thing that I could tell is that this club has done a good job of emphasizing playing on your toes opposed to your heels. Always ready to go.
Second and third, 2 outs. So it's changed, Shooty. It's not a stolen base. It's a wild pitch. Either way, Jaso's at second base. A little foul. Ty Waller, nice play by Ty. Not even his glove hand. He caught it with the throwing hand, which is multi-talented.
Well, I had the great pleasure of playing. Hey, Ty, you let him handle that. Maybe he might take one off the ankle down there. I mean, mad as he is, he may try to kick it into the stand.
I think Ty is just such a nice guy. He's willing to help anybody, no matter what uniform they're in.
One of the nicest guys in the game.
Yes, he is. You are correct there.
I played against Ty, man. He was a pretty good third baseman.
Best thing about Ty is you try to make them laugh because he's got the great laugh.
Wide smile.
Another foul ball. This is what the A's do right here, folks. You're watching it.
Well, Glenn, as great as it's been for the A's to make things very difficult for Hutchison out on the mound, extend this pitch count, keep him out there for a while, Jeff Samardzich's been sitting over there for a little while, so it'll be interesting to see how he handles a little extra rest.
I think he's just enjoying some run support. In the dirt, and now 3-2. So 34 pitches this inning for Drew Hutchison alone. A's have scored twice. Two pitch to Callaspo, fouled straight back. So we'll do it again. This one's popped up. Cabrera coming in left field, and Melky Cabrera grabs it side, retired. 2 runs on 4 hits for the A's. We're headed to the 5th inning. It's now the A's 3, and the Blue Jays nothing.
On 89 Throwback T-Shirt Day. Join us on Saturday, July 19th when we pay tribute to one of baseball's all-time great teams. At 6:05, it's a game against the Orioles. 15,000 fans will receive a 1989 Throwback T-shirt. It will be presented by Sungevity as part of the 1989 World Series Championship Team Reunion Weekend. This limited edition T-shirt features a hand-drawn character of some of the 1989 team's most recognizable players. For information and tickets, visit athletics.com/1989 or call 877-493-BALL.
So that's the weekend right after the All-Star break. Orioles will be in town, and that'll be a fun weekend, certainly. Quick 0-2 to Colby Rasmus. He'll be followed by Juan Francisco and Cole Gillespie. Samardzija has not a lot of hit since the first inning, and we're in the top of the 5th. So Samardzija and Hamill, of course, really the first big trade of the, we'll call it the trade season. The Angels got Joe Thatcher, and they got Jason Grilli, a couple of trades that they made. And another name on the move today, Brandon McCarthy was traded from the Diamondbacks to the Yankees. So Brandon McCarthy, who pitched for the A's for a couple of years, is now a Yankee. So, see how he does in New York. He was struggling with the Diamondbacks. He was 3-10 with an ERA right around 5 in 18 starts. But we've also seen Brandon McCarthy be pretty good. He was pretty good when he was with the Athletics.
Oh, he was outstanding. You know, you just didn't know what direction his career was going to go in after he was hit by a ball hit back at him. But through the grace of God, he's been able to bounce back and become the pitcher that he has been. And we know the New York Yankees, the team that they've been in the past, they're not going to sit on their hands as well. I mean, that American League Eastern Division is up for grabs.
Yes, it is.
Everybody has an opportunity.
Vidal Nuno, a young left-hander who pitched against the A's earlier this year, that was the trade. This one in the air to center. Gentry backing up. He's got it. So the Yankees get McCarthy for Nuno. The Yankees just 3 back, and Shooty said it best. It's wide open. The Rays are starting to play better baseball. They've won 8 out of 10.
Yeah, but they've got a long way to go, and I feel if you're not playing 500 in any division, you're basically not a consideration. But I mean, if you're just playing 500, you know, a 7 out of 8 win games stretch could get you right back in it. So they've got a long way to go, but we've seen stranger things happen.
The Yankees have already won today. They beat the Twins 9-7, so that gets them over 500. Another interesting move today made by the Yankees, Shooty. They designated for assignment Alfonso Soriano. How about that?
Quite interesting. There are a number of clubs that are looking for right-handed production. Soriano may have something left in the tank.
All right, so you don't think he's going to be out there long?
Oh, no.
Okay.
Oh, no.
Soriano this year with just 6 home runs, and he really was struggling. But last year, 34 home runs, 101 RBIs. So we'll see what happens with Alfonso Soriano. Driven to left, Cespedes in. He's got it, 2 outs.
Raul Ibanez, 40-something years old, had a great year last year, didn't do it in Anaheim, was released, and before he even unpacked his bags, he had a job with Kansas City. So when you have a reputation of being able to swing that bat and provide some production, and you've done it lately, you'll get an opportunity.
Soriano with 412 career home runs. And he was scary last year. Well, he still had that bat speed, but he just did not look the same this year. And the A's saw him here and in New York. He's finished playing the Yankees. So something to keep an eye on. McCarthy to the Yankees, Soriano out with the Yankees. And you know what? CC Sabathia is probably out for the year. So the Yankees really needed a pitcher.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And you think about Soriano, change of scenery sometimes jump starts a guy or resuscitates a guy's career. In Soriano's situation, I mean, he is definitely on life support, but who knows, this might be the jolt that he needs.
Maybe. 1-2 to Cole Gillespie. Gillespie grounded out to the shortstop his first at bat. Samardzija at 71 pitches. He's got 1 walk. He's got 2 strikeouts. That one hit up the middle. Lowry scoops it up near the bag. Side retired. 7 in a row retired by Jeff Samardzija. Bottom of the 5th coming up. It's 3-0 the A's lead. Comcast Sportsnet California is brought to you by Kelly Moore, proud sponsor of the Oakland A's. KellyMoore.com, bring inspiration home. Beautiful look at the Fox Theater in downtown Oakland. Beautiful look above the theater.
Truly a historical landmark there.
Big time. Bottom of the fifth from the O at OAK Coliseum. And Cespedes hits one to center and hits it well. Rasmus back right in front of the Comcast Sportsnet California sign, and he's got it. So Cespedes just hit a little bit too high. So one away here in the bottom of the fifth inning.
One more Cheerio for the mighty Cespedes here.
How about a designated hitter?
Little prematurely releasing his hips there. Doesn't stay on that fastball, Glenn. That's one thing that we've watched Cespedes do during this incredible run that he's had over the last month and a half. Stay on those balls and drive them more to right center, opposed to pulling off a little bit.
Donaldson takes a strike on the outside corner. Donaldson a little frustrated in his first two at-bats. 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts. Slider, this one's outside. Over 30 pitches last inning for Drew Hutchison. 78 overall. You can certainly see those shooting at just 23 years old. See why the Blue Jays are high on this young man.
Absolutely.
Got over 90 strikeouts now on the season. Over 100 innings now.
Presence means so much. The disposition of Hutchison on the mound, not a guy that's showing a lot of panic, staying within himself, knowing what he's capable of doing and trying to stay within a game plan.
Now full count.
You say frustration in Donaldson. I just say a guy who's just showing a little motion. I love competitors. Josh Donaldson is a guy that's going to give you every single thing that he has every day out. He cares so much, and a lot of times he just shows his emotions and wears them on his sleeve.
He drives this one to right center, but playable. Rasmus under this one. And that's the second out.
I'm talking about my competitive friend Josh Donaldson. When he faced big-time Marcus Stroman, it was mowing guys down. A lot of people didn't like the fact that when Stroman struck Donaldson out and he starts staring him down a little bit, but I thought this was gamesmanship extraordinaire. One guy with a little stroll after striking out one of the best third basemen in the American League, and Josh Donaldson letting the young puppy know that I'll be back here, brother. I ain't going nowhere.
The young man was good.
Yes, he was. Give credit where credit is due. What did I tell you years ago, Glenn? Don't be a hater, be a what?
That's right. Don't hate, congratulate.
Yes.
I use 3 to 4 times a day. I love that phrase. It's great.
My man.
I can tell you who or what we were specifically talking about, but I don't think anybody wants to hear that. There's a shot. Rasmus coming in, and he makes a very nice play. Busy inning for Colby Rasmus and a good inning for Drew Hutchinson. So we're on to the 6th. 3-0 Athletics lead.
coming up, and it's going to happen prior to July 8th. The A's versus Giants game. The A's will host the Bay Bridge Series for the First Responders softball game presented by AAA First Responders from Oakland and San Francisco. They will battle for softball supremacy. As a thank you to these men and women who put their lives on the line to help save ours, AAA will be making donations to each of the participating organizations.
Josh Tolle leading things off. And he rolls one to second. Scooped up, one away.
Glenn, it has definitely been poetry in motion on the bump here in Oakland when Samardzija has taken the mound today. Watching him early on attack hitters with his fastball, moving it side to side on both parts of the plate. Now a guy who has great feel for what the hitters are doing, seeing that they're a little anxious at the plate, trying to catch up with the fastball, being able to read swings. Now he's breaking off sliders, changeups, getting guys out front, not being predictable, knowing that those hitters are going to make adjustments. Well, the fine pitcher that he's making the same ones. So far, advantage Samardzija.
And you wonder how big that double play was in the first inning. Because it was first and third, one out, top of the first. You got Batista up. Who knows? Gets a double play and Batista ends the inning, has not allowed a hit since. Foul territory, long run for everybody involved, and nobody's going to get it.
I think you make a great point, Glenn, for the simple fact he doesn't get out that inning. Toronto score a couple of runs. We know how sometimes our anxious, loyal, loving fans respond to a new player here that doesn't perform like he should right away. So I love the fact that he got off to a great start. He showed the A's that once he gets his back up to the wall, that he understands how to get out of it. And I think that's a true attribute to a pitcher of this guy's caliber.
That one down the left field line, just foul. So the count 1-2 to Reyes.
This is a hard game to play. And sometimes I think we all forget that. And to see him do what he's been able to do under the circumstances just have been magnificent.
Reyes, a little flip job into center field, and Reyes is aboard. So Reyes a walk and a single today, so he's been on base a couple times.
Jeff Samardzija going to the fastball with a little cut in it, doesn't get it in far enough. And just like Hutchinson's inability to get his fastball in far enough and get it to swing back over the inner part of the plate, Samardzija suffered the same issue there with his fastball.
So here's Kawasaki with Melky Cabrera to hit next. So with Cabrera and Batista to follow here, there is one out, but this becomes a big at-bat with Kawasaki. That one rolled foul, maybe got a piece of Kawasaki's foot. He's 3 for 9 in the series with a couple of walks.
Well, that's not a good thing for a guy who really depends on sitting on his backside and being able to serve the ball to left field. Samardzija, with that great fastball that he has somewhat saw a weakness in Kawasaki's approach, and for him to be able to pound him in where he doesn't have a lot of success, that's amazing.
This one fouled straight back. So 0-2.
Big time in the game for Samardzija here.
He's at 81 pitches. He's a workhorse. Foul straight back again. He's thrown as many as 126.
Well, you look look at a pitcher and you want to know if he's built to sustain. This guy, wow, it's just impressive the physicality that he possesses out on the field.
And that one is fair. Headed down toward the A's bullpen. And it's picked up by the sidewall by Cespedes. Reyes to third. Kawasaki to second. And now it's second and third.
Well, that's where Kawasaki has been beating the A's all series long. I mean, he's a magician. You're talking about being able to shoot the ball the other way. I mean, that is just textbook for that style of hitting. You've got to let the ball get deep. You've got to let the ball travel. You've got to trust letting yourself get behind the baseball, if you will. And Kawasaki's been a thorn in the side for the A's.
So here's Cabrera. He swings at a pitch in the dirt. Jaso picks it up. Blue Jays are 0 for 18 with runners in scoring position in this series. Not surprised, they've only scored 2 runs total. Cabrera today a single in the first, a fly ball to center in the fourth. Should have been called a strike, but it was not. 1-1 the count. That was right on the corner and looked like it got a decent part of the plate.
Well, the corner has been closed. It is Sunday. You don't see many people out hanging around. So same here in that strike zone.
Fastball high. So 2-1. Fastball high again. That one at 94 miles an hour. So now it's a 3-1 count. Batista in the on-deck circle.
Well, you just want to try to minimize damage here. The A's have given them a ground ball in the infield. They'll sacrifice an out for 1 run.
That one tapped slowly. Punto charges, and that's the second out. It does get a run home. Reyes scores. Cabrera may have swung at ball 4. So these get an out, and the Blue Jays get a run. So Cabrera gets his 44th RBI of the year.
Batista.
Well, the professional hitter that Cabrera is, the reason why he has become that is because he understands that you just don't let the umpire take the bat out of your hands. You're in a situation where you're counting on a drive and a run. All you need to do is put it in play. You can't take anything close.
Sharp slider, but it's a touch outside. Batista is hit into a double play, and he has grounded out. He's 3 for 15 in the series. And he pops this one up. It'll be into the seats. And Batista, when he's hot, that pitch right there, he may hit out of the ballpark.
Yeah, it's a souvenir for the people behind home plate, but normally it's for those that are sitting out there where Mike Davis used to be inside.
So a power hitter struggling.
You know, coming into this series, the Oakland A's knew that there were certain guys that they didn't want to beat them, and that was the middle of the lineup, and they've done a fantastic job of doing that thus far. I think getting Batista here would truly be a feather in their cap because you can only hold these guys down for so long.
And there's a strike. Good pitch there. 96 miles an hour, and it's 1-2.
There's that old swing back fastball that Greg Maddux just basically patented at the major league level. It's so hard for a hitter to swing at a pitch that's 5 inches outside that ends up over the outside part of the plate. One of the best pitches in baseball other than strike 1.
1-2 pitch is outside to even the count.
Glenn, I talked about coming out during the season. Some are bobbing and weaving, some back up against the rope. Some have something in their back pocket. Samardzija pulled something out of his back pocket that we hadn't seen in this game. That was a pretty good split there.
That one dribbled foul. So 93 pitches now for Samardzija.
It's not a very fluent swing by Batista.
2-2 pitch is tapped slowly. Callaspo charges. He's got it. Throw to first just in time. Side retired. A run on 2 hits for the Blue Jays. Bottom of the 6th coming up. It is now 3-1.
Bay Area outside the Coliseum on Sunday, we're used to seeing a lot of strolling and rolling, but you know what? It took place right here in O.Co. Jeff Samardzija just rolling on the mound, commanding fastball each side of the plate. You know what? I've got something else to go with that, a changeup. I've got a slider that you can't get the fat part of the plate. I'm talking about rolling. I'm going to stroll right on off the field.
6 innings, 4 hits, 1 run with a couple of strikeouts. So good so far. There's nobody throwing in the bullpen. They're starting to stretch it out down there a little bit. And for the Blue Jays, Drew Hutchinson is back out there. 3-1. It's Jim Johnson. Lowry has a double, a single, and he has scored a pair of runs. The left-hander starting to throw. He's with 8 hits in the game. The Blue Jays with 4.
You know, Glenn, a sign of a champion, watching Samardzija in the top half of that inning, having his back up against the wall and presented one of the most toughest challenges that he had in this game. Came out of it flawlessly.
Reyes backs up into shallow center field, and he's got it. So Lowry is retired for the first time. That game in Anaheim is now in the 7th inning, and the Angels still leading 3-0 over the Astros behind Garrett Richards. But Richards looks like he's the real deal. Huh? He's 9-2 this year. It's amazing. That's the guy who here got knocked out in the 1st inning. And he's got good stuff, boy.
Unbelievable. I mean, 2/3 of an inning.
Yep.
Jared Weaver wasn't very good in that series as well, and we know he's a good pitcher.
Well, Richards, I think, has been their best starter. I don't think there's any question about that.
Well, they've got a kid in Shoemaker right now that's anchoring the bottom of that rotation, and he's pitching very well also. So they're definitely going to be tough as we continue on.
Actually, the Astros just got a run, so it's now 3-1 in the 7th inning.
You jinxed him.
I know. Maybe I was trying to get the Astros a couple runs. Check swing roller. Kawasaki scoops it up, and Fryman hustling down to first, but he's retired. So Nate's 1 for 3 and an RBI single in the 4th.
You said it, Glenn, hustling. 6'7", 6'8", big man. Check swing, disappointed, waited a couple innings to get up and get his action. What does he do? Give you a hard 90 all the way down the baseball line. This is how you play the baseball game. Play hard at all times. Doesn't matter who you are.
Six in a row retired by Hutchison as he faces Punto, and the fastball is high.
One thing I always felt, Glenn, is that on the field, the one thing that you can control is your effort. And as a major league player, you owe it to the game to display that every opportunity that you get.
2-0 now to Nick Punto.
Don't disrespect the game.
Because it'll disrespect you.
Ooh, in a heartbeat.
Three and 0. Hutchison has not walked a hitter. Big heads are ready. Peeking out over the left field wall. So if you're Melky Cabrera and you turn around, would that not creep you out? If you just turned around and you saw those guys staring at you?
It would definitely mess with your concentration for sure.
Because Melky's thinking, I don't know who that is. Don't turn around, Melky.
You know, the sad part of that, as nice a rack of hair as Ricky has in that big head out there, Ricky Stubb is still nice just like that.
Number 3, Craig Gentry.
Well, there's a smidge of MC Hammer there, too.
Yes, it is. A little high top fade. That's a good observation there.
So Punto aboard on the first walk. And this is Gentry. Gentry, the RBI infield single in the second, and then he bunted to the pitcher. He popped it up, and that was in the 4th. The Mets beat the Rangers today in New York 8-4. Wheeler over Tepich, and the Rangers have now lost 7 out of their last 8 and 15 out of their last 18. So Texas now 38-50 with that loss. Got to be frustrating for the Rangers. All the high hopes, and then injuries hit, and they just keep coming, and just like that, you're 12 games under 500.
Well, this organization knows what that's like. This is a team that suffered a tremendous amount of injuries early on in the 2000s, and you just can't overcome those, especially when a player of the caliber that the Rangers lost.
Fly ball foul. Headed for the bullpen. Batista hustling after. Told you the White Sox beat the Mariners 1-0. We see over Walker. So the Mariners will head home now, and they will host the Minnesota Twins for a 4-game series. And then, of course, next weekend the A's will be at Safeco Field. So a whole homestand before the All-Star break for Seattle, Minnesota, and the A's. Punto, decent lead at first. And I think that was a strike, folks, but it was called a ball.
Well, that play's called outside part of the plate is closed today, Clay. Sign is on the door.
Runner goes. Pitches a strike. Throw to second base. Punto's got a stolen base. So the third for Punto on the season, and with 2 outs, he gets himself in scoring position.
Look at a veteran player like Punto. Some of the elements that he brings to this team is his leadership and his ability to play the game accordingly. Instinctually, he knows that Hutchinson didn't pay much attention to him over there at first base, and he picked the spot, had great timing, doesn't have a tremendous amount of speed, does have first and second step quickness, and he utilized that there and still in the base. I don't know, Kawasaki, I don't think he knows that you're not supposed to deep runners over there at second base like that over here. Somebody will say something to him about that.
And now full count. Perfect time to run, too, if you're Punto. 2 outs, get yourself to second base, and if you're thrown out, well, Gentry leads off the bottom of the 7th.
Now you have a chance to add on, and that 4th run is critical.
The 3-2 pitch is low, and it's back-to-back walks here with 2 outs in the 6th inning, and that's going to do it. So with Jaso coming up, you had a pretty good idea that this was going to happen, and you also can figure that Bob Melvin's probably going to go to his bench. So loop is coming in when it's time for a change. Think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up, your oil change, tune-up, and brake experts.
Anniversary of the 1989 World Series Championship team. It's going to be on Friday, July 18th and Saturday, July 19th. We'll be joined by A's legends Ricky Henderson, Dennis Eckersley, Jose Canseco, Dave Henderson, Dave Parker, Carney Lansford, and Hall of Fame manager Tony Lucia, among others. There will be autograph sessions on Friday and Saturday with proceeds of all events benefiting the Angelman Syndrome Foundation. For information and tickets, visit athletics.com/1989 or call 877-493.
Batting for John Jaso, number
So Norris to pinch hit for Jaso. 2 on, 2 out, and Aaron Loup comes in. Loup pitched in game 2 of the series. 2-1 with a 3.12 ERA. Loup and Cecil, the 2 left-handers in the Blue Jays bullpen. Punto at second, Gentry at first. Norris takes a first pitch strike.
You see Derek Norris pitch hitting. Not too many times are you afforded the opportunity to use a catcher as a pitch hitter, for the simple fact that if the other guy gets hurt, now you're down to 1 catcher. But the A's having 3 never cripples Bob Melvin's opportunities to make so many different matchup changes.
Quick 0-2 to Norris. Norris 4 for 11 with a homer and 5 RBIs as a pinch hitter this year. Right here, he's got a battle back from an 0-2 count.
Well, to go along with his impressive resume of which he's done this year, to go along with the Derek Norris has to be one of the top hitters with runners in scoring position as well.
Indeed. Trying to get that run back that the Blue Jays scored in the top of this inning. Way inside. 382 average, second best in the American League. So there's your answer, Shooty.
Not a statistician, but I understand talent when I see it, bro. Time and time again, he just comes up with clutch hits. And those are the type of guys that you win with.
2-2 pitch is close, but inside. 3-2, runners will take off.
Wow. Outside corner is closed, and it's close to, that's a pretty good pitch right there. But you have to give our professional umpires credit. He was right. That ball was inside. It's called respect. Derek Norris has shown that he has an idea what's going on at the plate. Probably has a pretty good relationship with the umpire behind the plate as well.
Here we go.
Not actually Mark Buckley out there.
Unbelievable.
Hey.
Does anybody watch Mark Burley? Anybody?
Well, what you have here, pitcher and Loup, understanding that this is a critical part of this game. He's got a very dangerous hitter in Derek Norris. He made a quality pitch right there where Norris basically didn't flinch. One thing that he wants to do is to make sure when you come out of the bullpen, you have a job to do. If you got to take a little longer to get your mind right so that you can deliver the right pitch, then because he's going to be judged on what he does right
How
here.
about one's a curve, two's a breaking ball? Go get them. It's not that hard. Runners go, pitch is outside, and the bases are loaded. So it was 0-2, and Norris gets the walk. So 3 walks in this inning.
Outstanding at bat by Derek Norris. Not allowing Loup to expand the strike zone, understanding that it's very tight. You don't have to chase. You can be a little more selective. understanding that you've got one of the best situational hitters on this ball club coming up. Talking about keeping the train moving well, it's Callaspo's opportunity now.
And he's hit 3 fly balls today. And this one's popped up. Batista coming down. Tolle is out, the catcher. And Batista makes the catch. Never an easy play. Batista made it, and the A's leave the bases loaded. We're on to the 7th. 3-1 Athletics lead the Blue Jays.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the Stars.
Bet on your favorite mobile phone or tablet. Get live look-ins, instant replays, scores, stats, audio, free MLB TV, game of the day, and more. Download on the App Store or visit athletics.com today. I don't know, Glenn. 2 days in a row and that Ricky Big Head hadn't won. It's got to have a bad hammock. What you think? Ricky got a bad hammock.
Yeah.
Number 26.
At least Eck won when the Red Sox were here and he was their announcer. That was good. Norris stays in the game to catch, so he'll catch Samardzija for the first time. Lind, Rasmus, Francisco. 3 left-handed hitters. And the first pitch fastball. Top of the 7th inning. Eric O'Flaherty is warming up for the A's, just starting to throw. Good pitch, and it's 0-2.
So many times you hear the game is 90% physical or 90% mental and 10% physical. How difficult must it be for Derek Norris to come off the bench and have to catch Samardzija after he's been throwing a spectacular game?
And it just got better. A strikeout of Adam Lind, and he gets Lind for the second time. And same pitch.
To be able to come in, Glenn, and just follow suit, because we know how important it is, the relationship between a catcher and a pitcher, to be on the same page. Samardzija, who displayed a tremendous fastball early on, and Norris understanding that secondary stuff is playing up right now because of that, and being able to call it at the right time. That's being on point with your pitcher.
Rasmus swings at the first pitch, and he rolls it foul. Angels now with a 4-1 lead in the 8th inning over the Astros. The Indians beat the Royals today 4-1. Kluber over Duffy. Indians trying to get back to 500. They're now 1 game under the 500 mark. So Samardzija and of Rasmus, just like he got ahead of Adam Lind. And I would imagine if you're Derek Norris or even Stephen Vogt, who's playing right field, but you're probably watching closely, especially Norris in the dugout, to see what Samardzija is throwing for the first 6 innings, knowing that, hey, I may very well get in this game. I've never caught this guy. And that one close, but outside. 2-2 the count.
Well, you know that those catchers can't wait. I can recall when Jaso got hit in the arm, you saw Norris and Vogt over there fighting to see who was going to be the first one to get called into the game. So these guys enjoy their craft.
And that one just a bit inside.
That was a nasty pitch.
Yes, it was. A lot of late movement and good velocity. A wonderful combination to have.
Isn't it amazing when a player misses a ball, you always blame it on his glove?
That's the case. No question about it. 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, struck him out. Off-speed pitch, and that's pretty nasty.
Wow. I guess there's going to be some nicknames thrown around, and Filthy McNasty might be one of them for Samardzija. I mean, wow. I mean, a ball that starts out in the zone and sinks 6 inches by the time that it gets to the plate. I mean, that's basically unfair for a hitter because you don't have a lot of time to make up your mind what you're going to do. Once you identify the pitch, you've got to let it go. But because the ball comes out of Samardzija's hand the same way on every pitch that he delivers, it only enhances his deceptiveness on the mound.
Francisco swinging early, and he fouls it back.
Glenn, there's got to be a lot of people right now with their chests up in the air because when you make trades of this magnitude, there are a lot of people who have a lot to say to go into these decisions, and you just don't know how they're going to turn out. But I guarantee you, Billy Beane's staff, there are a lot of eyes right now on Samardzija, and there is a lot of sense of relief because in the scouting world, this is a tremendous time of the year. This is the time of the year where you have an opportunity to put your blueprint on your organization. And I just want to tip my hat to everyone that had something to do with this because right now, this was an incredible deal that was made.
Fastball just a bit high. Samardzija reaching back at 96 miles an hour. Strike 3 called. Samardzija strikes out the side in the 7th inning, and he's going to get a huge ovation, and it is extremely well deserved. 1 run in 7 innings in his Oakland A's debut. But today, USAA would like to pay special recognition to all of our service members at home and abroad.
A's and their fans would like to thank OAK for Salute to Service Sunday. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the traditional time of the ball game to stand, to stretch, and to sing. Take me out to the ball game.
Here in the bottom of the 7th against Aaron Luke. A walk and 5 strikeouts. And it's 0-2 to Cespedes, who singled in the 1st, struck out in the 3rd, hit a fly ball to center field in the 5th. To pitch to Cespedes, and he swings and misses. So on 3 pitches, Cespedes strikes out for the 2nd time. Well, coming up, it's the A's and the Giants. Monday, Tuesday here at the Coliseum. Wednesday, Thursday in San Francisco. And there's your pitching matchups. It'll be Vogelsong and Chavez tomorrow. Bumgarner and Gray on Tuesday. That's a good matchup. Hamill and Kane on Wednesday. Kazmir Hudson on Thursday. So there's your matchup, the annual Bay Bridge Series. 2 here and 2 in San Francisco, Monday through Thursday. Belted to center. Rasmus into right center. He's got it. So the ballpark should be jumping the next couple nights, Shooty. It always is.
Just don't want to see one of those half orange and
Not
black and half green and gold hats, man.
Should not be allowed in the ballpark. They really weren't that cool in 1989 when the 2 teams met in the World Series, and they've only gone downhill since then.
You're right, and you're either on this side or you're on that side. There's no in between. There's a big body of water in between both of them.
And there's a reason for that.
That's right, because you can't swim across it.
It's fun. Crowds are into it. See, it's starting to cool between those 2 right now because the series starts tomorrow. They were okay Friday. A little chilly yesterday, today.
But if you look at her at first, early in the game, they were sitting so cozy there. She kind of turned that shoulder a little bit.
Yeah, it's getting that time.
Yes, it is, man. Great observation there.
All right.
Boy, this kid, Luke, presents a difficult challenge for left-handed hitters, man. Angle in which he attacks these guys.
Vogt rips it right field, and Gillespie off his glove, and Stephen Vogt, he's digging for 3rd, and Vogt with a triple. Thank you very much, Stephen Vogt. He's got 2 hits today, and that's a triple.
I say vote for Stephen for mayor of Oakland. I mean, when you need something done, this kid can get it done without a lot of help. I mean, this is the most uncomfortable at bat you would want as a left-hand hitter, a guy throwing behind you. But because of his confidence and his ability to hang in there and to wait for that ball to come out of that blind zone and to be able to put a swing on it with that magnitude and drive it to that part of the field and then turn on those jets. Turn on those jets that the 747 has.
2nd triple of the year for Vogt.
You kidding me? Stephen Vogt? Is it too late to write him in on the All-Star team?
He should be an All-Star. A late push. Well, they're going to announce the All-Stars in 35 minutes. Do we have time to stuff the ballot box?
I think we have slim chance.
2-0 to Lowry. He's got 2 hits. Swinging and a miss.
It is just amazing the energy that this young man has. I mean, never once did he think about pausing there. And the thing about this is impressive for me. Typically, you want to be looking at your third base coach when you hit the ball in the right center gap. But Stephen Vogt, being the advanced base runner that he is, never missed a step, didn't even have to look at gags over there. And I'm a true advocate that the only time you need a base coach is when you can't see the ball.
It's good to be home. Now 3-2 to Lowry. Lowry hits a high fly ball right field, foul territory, and somebody caught it, and it was Gillespie. What a play by Cole Gillespie.
Lowry still can't believe it.
And luckily there was no collision, because that had collision written all over it. But somehow Gillespie and Batista were able to avoid each other. And that is a heck of a play. He's maybe checking if he indeed did catch it. In fact, it looks like the Blue Jays are kind of hanging around a little bit. Bob Melvin is coming out.
A little later in July, the A's are going to be improving your wardrobe one item at a
Well,
time.
Gillespie been out on making sure that he impresses his first day in Blue Jay uniform, just playing all-out baseball here. But to be able to make a play and avoid Batista, like you indicated, Glenn, was just incredible in doing so, because you watch him at the end of the play. He was able to move his head out of it and still keep his eyes on the baseball, but I'm not sure if he caught that ball. But we don't have a review, so...
All right, so it is a catch, and the A's do not score. 8th inning coming up, 3-1 Athletics.
July 20.
And it's bullpen time for the Athletics, and it's Eric O'Flaherty, his second appearance this year. One pitch. Gillespie bounces it to short, and that's one out. So when it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up, your oil change, tune-up, and brake experts. O'Flaherty, that's his career numbers. And he made his first appearance for the A's on Friday. And it was his first appearance since May of 2013. And he even said, hey, I was nervous. I was throwing the bullpen. I was all over the place. In fact, he said, I was warming up. I was all over the place. And I was afraid somebody from the dugout was going to look down and see me all over the place and say, let's get somebody else up, which was not going to happen. But he was nervous.
Well, what do you expect from a left-hander, man?
But he came in, did a good job, and now he's back in there today.
Yeah, he's a pretty good pitcher, and once again, the A's come up with the gem.
Could be a nice addition. A lot of teams be happy to have one real good left-hander in their bullpen. The A's have three, and that is almost unfair.
Yes, it is. And you said it. I mean, good left-handers.
Yeah, there's a difference. It's not just a warm body down there. We're talking quality. And you know, Doolittle's your closer, but you got a left. If the game's in the 6th, 7th, 8th inning, you have two lefties that could get you outs against big left-handed hitters, and every team has a couple big left-handed hitters. So Navarro pinch hitting. He's retired. Time to log on to CSNCalifornia.com and decide the player of the game. Your vote counts. The winner will be revealed during A's postgame live. Follow the action on the diamond like never before with enhanced Bloomberg stats and more. A's in-game live on CSNCalifornia.com. Log on now and vote. So here's Reyes, top of the order. Reyes is 1 for 2 with a single and a walk. Now 2-0.
When you talk about that depth and the ability that the left-handers come in different times of the game, so many times relievers kind of have a problem when you try to get them to pitch up an inning. But now these guys have the luxury where you can back them up where they're even better in roles that they normally don't pitch in. Seventh inning guy coming in the 6th inning. Luke Gregerson doesn't have to worry about pitching in the 9th. He could be that great 8th inning pitcher that he's been all his career. That means something.
On the ground. Lowry a tough hop, and Eric O'Flaherty, 3 ground ball outs. Bottom of the 8th coming up. It's 3-1, the A's lead. Let's check out our game summary brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Another great pitching performance. This one by Samardzija, and the A's lead 3-1 going to the bottom of the 8th inning. Samardzija went 7 innings, gave up just 1 run, 5 strikeouts, 108 pitches, and he was very good today. So first start as an Athletic, a good one. The A's 3 outs away from a 4-game sweep. And when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. Your oil change, tune-up, and brake experts. It's the closer for the Blue Jays, Casey Janssen, who comes in. Having a good year. But it's always good if you don't see the opposing team's closer in the first 3 games of a series. And when he does come in, it's just to get some work in. That's a good thing if you're the opposition. Jansen, he's pretty good.
But one thing that you want to do to your opponent is relieve him of his strength. And one of the strengths for the Blue Jays has been their closer. As you said, Glenn, he has been no factor in this series. Matter of fact, he's been absent.
That one drilled towards center. Rasmus has it. So Fryman is gone. He's 1 for 4 with the RBI single. And here's Punto. So Doolittle getting himself ready.
Number 1, Nick Punto.
Angels now leading 6-1, and that game has just gone to the 9th inning in Anaheim. So the Angels are going to win it. Rasmus coming in. He's been busy all day. He's underneath this one, 2 outs.
Now batting
so 2 outs, and Craig Gentry hits. His check and shooty. When do the A's and the Angels play again? Well, they don't play the rest of this month. Looks like August 22, 23, and 24 right here at the Coliseum. And then the next weekend, it's a 4-game series in Anaheim. So end of August, 7 of 10 games against the Angels. So that's a little ways away. A lot can happen between now and then.
That's the big question. How much will those games mean to both these teams when that time
I think they're going to mean a lot.
I'm taking note.
Well, the A's have the best record in the major leagues. The Brewers have the 2nd best record in the major leagues. The 3rd best record in the major leagues is the Angels. How about that?
Well, Glenn, the one thing about the comparisons of the 3 teams, the A's and the Brewers have been the most healthy out of all 3.
Yep.
And you look at the A's, the one thing that they've been truly blessed with this year is the limited amount of major damage, major injuries. And the ones that they've had, they've been able to overcome those. And I think that's going to be critical later on in the year.
And you know what? And the A's are going to say, well, wait a minute, Shooty. What about Jared Parker and A.J. Griffin?
That's why you come out of spring training with 8 starters.
No.
Some smart people upstairs.
And have depth.
Absolutely.
Had to replace 2 very good starting pitchers, and they've been able to do that. Reyes can't get it. Gentry has his 2nd hit. Reyes gets up slowly, and him walking back to his position is kind of the look that the Blue Jays have right now as a team. They're 3 outs away from being swept in 4 games, and they've been completely shut down.
Glenn, that is such a great observation, because I kind of noticed that last inning after Reyes grounded out. You can kind of see a club with their heads down a little bit,
no question.
Shoulders a little shrugged. And that's what happens when you get slapped upside the head the way that they have over these past 4 games. I mean, you're playing against a team that came home limping off of a long road trip, and that was vulnerable. But you know what? They cleared their minds, and they got right back to business, and they took it out on Toronto.
Well, the Blue Jays will pack up and head to Anaheim. So the Blue Jays will finish the first half of the season 3 in Anaheim and then 3 in Tampa Bay. So they're on a 10-game road trip leading up to the All-Star break. So it's not going to get any easier for them as they got to head down to Southern California.
Well, as importantly as you talked about, look at Reyes here. Ground ball up the middle. It seems like everything has just been out of their reach. By it being away at the plate, that they just can't get the fat part of the bat on the ball, or they just can't come up with the blue pitch. Kawasaki has arms outstretched all series long and just couldn't come up with the baseball, and it's basically typically how things have gone for them.
So 1-1 the count to Norris, who walked as a pinch hitter in the 6th inning.
Glenn, you said you can't look at the scoreboard until July 4th. I think that's also a point where you really have to start winning series at this time of the year.
Yeah. Yankees with 10 hits now in the ball game. Norris, line drive, left center field, base hit. Here comes Gentry. Rasmus picks it up. Gentry's being waved home. Reyes is thrown to the plate. Forget about it. Gentry scores. 2-out rally gets the A's a run.
Well, when you have a guy at first base that is a threat to go, all it does is gives a hitter a chance to get a better pitch to hit. Now he makes a mistake in the middle of the plate. Norris drives one in the gap. Normally when the outfielder is able to get over and cut a ball off and keep it from going to the wall, that limits the runner from scoring. But when you're talking about a guy like Gentry, I don't know there are many guys in the game that can turn it on as quickly as he does. This is the type of guy that you want to hand the baton off to in a 440 relay because you know he's going to bring it to the plate. Bring it home, big fella.
Mike Gallego may need to have that rotator cuff checked. Feel sorry for Gag. He's stretching it out right now. Espo rolls it foul.
Well, you know, normally with Gags down there, the faster and the more urgency there is, the quicker that arm gets to moving. With Gentry, I don't think you can wave it fast enough. Wow.
You know what, too? Shooty is. Gags gets low when he's wheeling him in. Watch Gags.
Oh,
you get in a fielding position. Come on.
Now he's speeding it up. You got to go. You got to go. You got to go. My reputation is on the line. Sending you in a situation like that make me look good.
And he did.
Yes, sir.
Gentry's not going to let you down. Not with that kind of speed.
You know, I talked about the change of scenery and how important it is for some players to just give them a second life. I don't think it's any more evident with Gentry getting a chance to play as much as he has here in Oakland opposed to what it was like in Texas for him.
Caspo shoots one foul to keep the count 1-2.
You know, all of his career, Glenn, he's basically been somewhat considered a fourth outfielder, platoon player, if you will. But he's exceeded that role here, and the importance of him being able to give Coco Chris an opportunity to take a day off like today or fill in against a real good left-handed pitcher. I mean, he has done a phenomenal job in that role here.
And that's going to be caught by Francisco. Just a little flare. Francisco got back and grabbed it. Run on a couple of hits. Norris with the RBI double. Doolittle coming in for the save. 4-1 A's.
A's Baseball on Comcast Sportsnet California is brought to you by Xfinity, home of the most live sports, and by Toyota, #1 in MPG, durability, and resale value. Toyota, let's go places.
4-1, the A's lead the Blue Jays, and the folks in right field are letting us know that Sean Doolittle is in the game. When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up, your oil change, tune-up, and brake experts. So Doolittle comes in, save opportunity with the score 4-1. He's 12 for 15 in save chances, and he's going to face Tollison, the pinch hitter, to lead it off. Coco Crisp comes in the game. He's in center. Gentry slides to right. Vogt is out. So Eric O'Flaherty, a very clean 8th inning after Samardzija went 7, and now it's Doolittle. First pitch to the pinch hitter Tollison, who's hitting for Kawasaki. Tollison, a couple hits in this series. Will be followed by Melky Cabrera and then Jose Bautista. Fastball a little hot. Fastball up and away. So 2-1. There's 4 hits on the afternoon for the Blue Jays. The 2-1 pitch is belted to left center field. Cespedes on the move, and it is gone. Steve Tollison homers, and it's 4-2.
Glenn, if you look at the sequence in which Doolittle has been attacking Tollison in this at bat, the one thing that he's able to do and why he's been so successful is that he dominates at the top of the strike zone. Fastballs that hitters can't catch up with. But if they make him get the ball down in an area that he's not comfortable with, a lot of times his ball may straighten out, and that was why Tollison was able to elevate on him a little bit there. But Doolittle, for the most part, has a string on his ball, and basically he's normally pretty much consistent at the top of the zone.
So here's Melky Cabrera, and he's trying to get on for Bautista. After Bautista, it's Adam Lind. So the first home run in this series for the team that leads the league in home runs. Fryman fighting that sun, and that's a big out.
Now for our Honda player of the game, there's no question who he is. Jeff Samardzija, just totally impressive and dominant and truly effective today. Giving the Oakland A's everything that they bargained for and more. Had a great fastball, breaking ball, showed some personality and a tremendous amount of will to win. Jeff Samardzija, a player of the game.
First pitch to Bautista in for a strike. It's a final now in Anaheim. 6-1 Angels. Richards gets his 10th win. Struck out 11. Swing and a miss, a high fastball, and it's 0-2.
Wow. Talking about a power on power, Imano right here. Doolittle advantage.
2 pitches foul back. That one maybe more of the plate than Doolittle wanted, but see if at some point he does what you said, should he just elevate a little bit?
Just a little higher. 0-2 count. Hitters have a tendency to chase, trying to protect.
That one way high.
You're going to miss. You miss way out of the zone. This guy right here is one of the most dangerous right-handed hitters in the game.
Swing and a miss. as he struck him out 95 miles an hour, 2 outs.
Incredible. Sean Doolittle, just that last bit on his fastball is the difference of him being an all-star closer and what he is. It has that last hop. We call that late life through the zone. You can get geared up, but if you don't have a lot of grease on your chain, you're not going to be able to pull the trigger on this one.
So here's Lynn to make that Mastriani pinch hitting for Lynn. Darren Mastriani, the right-handed hitter. Lynn has had no success against left-handed pitching this year, so that's why Mastriani is out there to hit. Outside corner, 1-1. That one hit high in the air to left field. Cespedes is under it. And that's a 4-game sweep in front of the home fans, ladies and gentlemen, as the A's win it this afternoon 4-2. And the Toronto Blue Jays limp out of town, and the A's pitching staff completely shut down the Blue Jays, allowing just 4 total runs in the series. So Jeff Samardzija is the winner in his first start with the Athletics. He was very good. And Sean Doolittle gets his 13th save, and the A's have themselves a 4-game sweep, and they have a 55-33 record. 4-2 is your final. You've been watching Oakland A's baseball on Comcast Sportsnet California. Don't go away. A's postgame live with Mindy Bach and Vic Roberts starts right now.